Hey there, everyone. I am meteorologist Bill Kelly. It is Sunday afternoon, coming to you here at about 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock on the nose, actually. And what we're going to do, we do not have any tornado warnings, but we have extremely dangerous conditions out there with the flooding. We have some reports of rescues. We've got a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend a little time. I'm going to give you an update here. I got my social media up as well. I'm on Twitter. That's Bill Kelly Weather on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I want to hear from you if you have anything you want to chime into the conversation. And we're just going to kind of go through, and I'm going to show you where the storms are, talk about the National Weather Service and get some reports from them, and then just kind of keep you guys updated here on the stream. Obviously, if there is a tornado warning issued, we'll break into our programming, but this right now is exclusive to our stream, of course, online, and that's one of the advantages of having the wonderful streaming platform that we have here at CBS Philadelphia. We can do stuff like this. All right, so here's our live camera here in Philadelphia. The heaviest of the rain, not in the city as of yet, but boy, we have seen some incredible rain and are currently seeing that off into our western zones. Here's a look at Bethlehem, and you can see how wet the street is. Certainly in spots, it is much wetter than this. So here's what we have going on. There's a lot on this map, so let me break it down for you. Here's the first two flash flood warnings that pop up. This is for Berks, Lehigh, Northampton County. That's a newly issued one. That's up now until 8:45 tonight. It's only 4 o'clock, so for hours. And then this one here, flash flood warning for Berks County at 8:45. So let's take the radar off, or excuse me, let's take the flash flood warnings off. First, let's get you positioned with the radar and what we're looking at. So we're going to go to the wider view here, and I'm going to put this map into motion, kind of looping this over the last 30 minutes. So the setup that we have is atmospherically there is so much moisture to work with. And so that is allowing these storms that have generated to tap into it and bring it all down to the surface, okay? In addition to that, this storm line, which it is, of course, a line that goes right through our area and down to the south as well, is moving very slowly. It's moving from the west to the east, practically stationary. I mean, it's just creeping along. In fact, if I zoom on down here, let me take the leading edge or show you where the heaviest of the stuff is in our western zones. Look at this one here near West Callan. I'm going to put my finger right here, and you see these storms. I mean, they're just barely creeping around. You take this one here up near Upper Providence, same thing. You can see the red at the front end of this at 30 minutes. 30 minutes later, you still got the red. So this is just creeping along. All of these shades that are super bright that you're seeing, the reds, the oranges, that is where the rainfall is coming down very heavily, inches per hour in some spots. And unfortunately, it is staying around for hours in spots. Now, also, these emblems, each one of these lightning emblems that you see, cloud to ground lightning strikes. Again, cloud to ground, not just within the cloud, not from one cloud to the other. These are cloud to ground strikes, so pretty dangerous. Here's Reading. Berks County, you folks have had it pretty much all day long, down to Lancaster County, moving into Chester County right now as well. And then we bring it back here, so we're looking here at the PA Turnpike, going right up, say, the Blue Route. It's dry now, right where it connects, say, near King of Prussia, Conshohocken. This area is dry, but then you go up and you get into upper parts of Montgomery and upper Bucks County, and this is where the rainfall starts, and it continues. You work up into Lehigh Valley and beyond. All right, so with that being said, let me show you the active flood warnings that are in effect right now. So I'm just going to put the flood warnings on as you see. So what we're watching, every one of these areas of red, so the entire county of Berks, right? The whole thing. That's a flash flood warning. It drapes on into parts of Chester County and into northern sections here of Montgomery and Bucks, as I mentioned. This flash flood warning that includes parts of Philadelphia has been up for a while. It was the one cell that rolled through earlier today. In fact, I tweeted out, Jessica Cartalia sent me a photo. She tweeted it too. I retweeted it, of cars in a parking lot that had just been swallowed up by a quick rush of water that filled it. The parking lot looked like a lake. That's what this is down over here. That's a new message from the National Weather Service. Make sure it's nothing. It's a new severe thunderstorm warning, and what they're saying is on a lot of these, which I'll show you in just a moment, that a tornado is possible. We really don't have a lot of atmospheric things, if you will, that really would prompt tornadoes today, but we'll watch that. But before we get into the severe part of this, the flooding is by far the most impactful for all of you at this point. Notice we go up to the north, we move out of our area right now, and we move up into sections of North Jersey, and the flash flood warning continues around that part. Now, as we widen this out, I'm going to go to, let's go to the what we call the DMA view, which is just our overall region around the Delaware Valley. Everywhere that you see the green on this map, and it goes well beyond the throes of where we are broadcasting to, except of course, online. We're broadcasting globally if need be. But within our television area is a flood watch. So the watch is in effect, meaning conditions are possible. And the warning means it's happening now or will be happening. So this is what we have in our area currently. Let's go now to the active alerts, the one that just came down. So this here, this that you see is the brand new severe thunderstorm warning that was just sent out from the National Weather Service. And they're saying, I'm reading as it comes in, more broad rotation in that Montgomery County storm. Tornado possible out again on this severe thunderstorm warning. And what they're referring to when they say broad rotation, I'll show it to you, and I'll show you specifically where this warning is. Brand new, just coming down. By the way, this warning is up until 4:30. So here is the warning itself. Let's zoom on down. Okay. Let me show you this warning right in here. So upper hangover. Moving across toward lower Frederick. Let me widen this so you can see just a little bit in relation to where things are. And I'm going to actually take those labels off of it because you can see what it is. So this is the severe thunderstorm warning that goes from Limerick right up into the north, in through parts here of Montgomery County. And when they're talking about broad rotation, that means the storm has movement. Broad means it's not so tight like a tornado, but there is definitely some movement in this storm that is leading them to say the tornado is possible. And so what we're talking about is this. And whenever we have tornado warnings, if you've been with us in the past, we break down what this map shows you. And it shows you storm direction and it shows you storm intensity. The direction is relative by the color. So when radar is green, it's heading toward the radar. When it's red, it's heading away. And this particular one, notice how there's some red and there's some green. Broad meaning it's just kind of a bigger area. It's not tight like a tornado, because obviously if you have a tornado, you have winds going in a different direction very close to one another. But that's why they're putting out, okay, this is strong enough that you're going to have some localized gusty winds, most likely very similar to a downdraft, which is what we had last week for you folks in Haddonfield and Cherry Hill, where underneath that storm, winds all of a sudden went like that in a localized area, maybe even a microburst, which is 2.5 miles or less. That's what this is showing. So likely what's happening here is you're getting some of these outflow winds from this storm because it's just raining so intensely, and you're getting the winds that are spreading out. So some going toward the radar, some going away. But we'll watch. Again, the risk for tornadoes today, generally speaking in our area, is pretty low. It's not a tornadic type event. Risk for flash flooding and exceptionally dangerous conditions with rain, very high. Very high. That is by far our number one. In fact, just brand new from the National Weather Service, a local storm report. This is in Berks County. Okay, 1 mile east of Temple here in Berks County. So let's go back to the radar, widen this out, show you. We're going to go back over here to Berks County. They're saying at 3:26 p.m., so about a half an hour ago, there was a building collapse and a rescue, that's huge, obviously, on Mount Laurel Road along Laurel Run. The basement had collapsed, again, Berks County, and water is surrounding residents. The residents of the house are trapped and cannot get out. Jeez, that's an awful storm report there. That's again in Berks County. That just came out within the last couple of minutes. So, those of you at the desk, if you're hearing that, that's a bad storm report. And that's also why, if I go back, guys, if you go and see if this one shows up. Let's see if there's so many warnings on here that this one individually may or may not show up. We have a lot of our warnings color-coded here. If it's a general flash flood warning, it's just going to be outlined with white. But earlier I was showing a warning, and I saw it on screen. I didn't mention it at the time, and it had purple around or pink around it. And that means that there is catastrophic damage. Whenever National Weather Service gets sites like that or reports like that, they're going to give it an extra outline. This here, severe thunderstorm warning, has the red outline around it. What that tells us is that the language says tornado possible, and we've already talked about that. Otherwise, it would just have the regular white outline as a general severe thunderstorm. If you are just joining us here, it is 4:09. On this Sunday afternoon. We're here on our CBS News Philadelphia stream because while we do not have any tornado warnings at this time, we have one severe thunderstorm warning. What we do have is a tremendous amount of flash flood warnings and dangerous rainfall that's coming through. In fact, I want to show you this. And I was looking at this. I tweeted this out, or at least some of it, when I came in. I'm going to show you the accumulation map. This is rainfall estimate, rainfall accumulation just in the last 3 hours. Just in the last 3 hours, not over the last 3 or 4 days. Just last 3 hours. You see how bright it is. If we go down here to Reading, and I go up here to this tool and I select the info tool, we can actually go down and sample this. You see the shades of pink and even darker than that. When I put my hand on there, over 7 inches of rainfall per the radar in the last 3 hours. Let me give you a little perspective on that in Philadelphia. That's about as much rain as we would get in 2 months on average in the rainy season. We average, 3.5, 4.5 inches per month on our rainy season. In 2 months, in the last 3 hours in Berks County. That's incredible. That is absolutely intense. Obviously, if you folks are listening, and I don't have to tell you that because you're looking out your window, that's just one damage report that I mentioned. I'm sure there are dozens, if not hundreds of others in this county. The emergency managers here are going to stay exceptionally busy. Fire rescue, that type of thing, specifically in Berks County. I mean, that's just, and it's not just one single spot that picked up that. There's another 7.1. You go south of Reading, here's a only 2.6, only 3 inches of rain in the last 3 hours. You can take another sample here. There's a 5.7. In fact, Reading, you guys broke the record for your rainfall of the day, officially measured at the airport. That was a while back that came out. It was... if I'm scanning back here, it was over 4 inches of rain. And you guys broke your record, Friday or Thursday last week, too, when you had over 2 inches of rain. So if I go and I show you this, look at the rainfall estimate. This is over the last now 2 days, 48 hours. It's just nuts how much rain has showed up on this particular map. What was this one showing? If we just sample this one out, go back to the info tool, sample this one out over the last 2 days here in Berks County. Now we're pushing 10 inches of rainfall over the last couple of days. You go down here to Different, and you see the same bright colors as well. Upper Bucks, Upper Montgomery County, right at that Berks County line. And when you get this much rainfall, there's just no way to prevent damage, flash flooding, road closures, rescues, all those things. It's way too much. The ground can't take it. And that will continue as we go into the next couple of hours. So let me, a couple more things, and then we're going to dart out of here, and I'll have another update for you coming up in just a little bit. Once again, what we are looking at, I'm going to put the radar into motion. Let's just go radar over the last hour. Take this back off. We have exceptionally heavy rainfall into our western counties right now. It is creeping slowly to the east. Everybody gets in on this. Philadelphia area, probably another hour or two as this line creeps its way in. Starting to impact you folks in Newcastle County and Delaware. Certainly Chester County. Berks County, it continues to rain very heavily, and there's a lot more rain behind it. A lot of lightning is a big threat out there, as well as the flooding. The flooding, hands down, the biggest threat that we have, but we also are in the severe thunderstorm watch box for today as well. So we could have isolated storms that are severe. Flash flooding, severe storms, lightning, and when it comes to severe, gusty winds are going to be our biggest threat. That is a longer look at what's going on, a 15-minute update. I'm going to continue to watch this. I'm on Twitter at Bill Kelly Weather. Same thing with Facebook. If you have anything you want to tweet out to me, let me know. Pictures. I got a picture from Quakertown. Showed over 4.5 inches of rainfall. Stuff like that. You can help be a part of this story. We'll dart out for now. We'll have another update for you guys coming up in just a bit. This has been a CBS News Philadelphia Live Update.